It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. Hope y'all ready for this one. Next on Madden Football.
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Cardinals now getting set to go offensively, and it'll be the dual-threat quarterback Kyler Murray leading the way.
Drafted with the idea that he'd be one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL when he put it all together. We've been seeing that progress throughout his career. This guy's legs, we knew they were phenomenal. Arm, top-notch. But now we're seeing his mind come into the game. Reed's defense is better and better each and every week, and is showing patience as a passer as well. Not as eager to exit the pocket, finding guys downfield for bigger plays.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Conner going to get it again on second down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Screen pass to Conner. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's all about recognition right there, because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Back deep is Steven Sims. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Under center, it'll be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Now 2nd and 9. Here's Darnold. That'll be caught at Steven Sims. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Play action. It's Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Walker now on 1st and 10, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Back to throw, Darnold. That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Connor going to get it again on second down. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and now long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a first down.
From the gun on third down, Murray. That is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Michael Wilson from 19 yards away. And the Cards take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it winds up at a touchdown for Arizona. Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one, the man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 right at the 40. And they'll send the tight end in motion. On the counter, it's Walker. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Tackle made there by Buda Baker.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped up just short of the 1st down at the Cardinals' 31. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They'll try for the first with Walker. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 8 and a 1st down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They run again with Walker. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them. And boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd and 8. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's Darnold. And his throw here's incomplete. Jackson Smith and Jigba, the one he was after there. And now it's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Now Darnold. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2. Here is 3rd and 5. As they've got it as we resume action. To throw, it's Murray. Now they go screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped him for no gain.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this returnable for Sims. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. Shedding the tackle. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone. And they hit him for the completion for the 1st down.
Darnold now to throw. As it complete to Jackson Smith-Njigba. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Now it's Darnold. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Here's a 2nd and 8. To throw is Darnold. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. 40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here's Walker. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 10-7. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Well, now how about this return? He's to midfield. Still going past the 30. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. Maybe I go out there and try and stop them, but boy, what a tough spot they're in.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's a quick throw to McBride. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. 9-yard line, 2nd and 6. Murray now to throw. Touchdown! Michael Wilson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Now Ryland for the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. He completes this to Walker, and he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit, because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. His throw incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Quick throw caught out wide by Valdez-Scantling. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Greg George, deep for Arizona. This is taken at the 23. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Murray. Flushed out right. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Murray. And a completion to Wilson. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. Here's Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Look at the big man rumble. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Well, the Cardinal offense going to take over late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. From the gun, Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Second down and 6 now. Now Murray. Eluding. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. A final shot before half for Murray. He'll get this to Connor underneath. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you cross country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
It was a strong first half for the former Spartan, Kenneth Walker. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this 3rd quarter. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. Third quarter begins with a run by Walker. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 8. Faking the give, Darnold. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Darnold. Well, the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Steven Sims Jr., 70 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now Myers for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Murray a give. This is Connor. We'll get this up to about the 44.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. Murray going to throw. Throwing quickly to Wilson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They run behind center with Connor. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd down and 3. Again, it's Connor. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the 1st down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
Connor up the middle, and nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Murray. He's got McBride here over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. On the handoff, Connor. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. James Conner taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cardinals have got it back to within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the 1st half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Here's Darnold. Walker with a grab, left side. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off of play action, Darnold. We'll get that to Charbonnet. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up second down. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Look, I realize on any play call, when it's properly executed, it can go for a touchdown. But the runs that really make it work are the ones where you just get what you need, right? And he barely got the first down, but he got it.
Smith and Jigba in motion right. Now Darnold going to take it and just bat this one forward to his wideout. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Two yards to go, second down. In motion, the tight end. Play action. It's Darnold. A quick throw there is incomplete. And try to find Jackson Smith and Jigba. And it's 3rd down and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Darnold now to throw. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. What a methodical drive. This is turning out to be that time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now it's Darnold. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Walker looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Walker once more. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
And that right there is a definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start with the option. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
To throw is Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Now a handoff coming left. Connor able to power through. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 2nd and 5.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
To throw, it's Murray. That pass completed to Dortch. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Murray now. Staying on his feet. Fights through, and now a crease. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Bottom line is that he is just something else as a runner because there are not many QBs in this league who can rip off a game that big, and he did it with the defense giving him a little extra attention after he hit him on a run earlier this series.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run here with Connor. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Once again, it's Connor. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. James Conner with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Ryland on for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. The Seahawks offense has Sam Darnold headed back out there. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Darnold. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Baron Browning from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Darnold. Forced out to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
They begin on the ground here with Connor, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They were down to their final 2 plays. They needed something to get them started. That was the one.
And it was a big one indeed. And so now they get a chance to continue to go downfield. Let's see if they go for a big one here.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. To throw is Murray. Able to find Jones. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Murray. That's caught by Wilson, and he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught, and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
Now Murray. Able to get this one to McBride. The Cardinals going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Murray to throw. Goes right back to McBride. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. He'll look to throw. He'll get that one complete to counter. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow.
What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead, and also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
Now Ryland for the PAT. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. This is 1st and 10. Darnold to throw. And he'll get him a first down up past the 40 as the clock ticks on. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now they burn the timeout, and they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Darnold. This for all the marbles. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it. And this one's over. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Seattle, So long, everybody.